Okay, the music was rocking. I don't know
What's
why.
up? What's up?
Uh,
Shucks.
Did he say shucks?
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
Wow.
trying.
sure because
I'm
who
I'm
says shucks while
trying.
they dancing?
I'm trying not to cuss. I haven't smoked in 9 months. I ain't stopped drinking, but see, I've been on my best behavior. Y'all don't understand, man.
But what
I've
word
been
would you have used in that moment?
shiznit. I'm just saying. I just said something, vulgar, but
Mm,
I'm trying to be. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying, to be my higher self. You know what I'm saying, like
okay,
Shaquille
well,
Sunflower.
Interesting.
lift you up like Rihanna said.
I mean, listen, I'm trying, listen, I'm just trying, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
He
smoked a blunt
said a
in
whole lot of
9 months.
nothing. He said a whole lot of nothing. Listen, I'm trying to listen. Okay.
I'm trying. I ain't smoked. Do you not understand? I ain't smoked in 9 months.
I'm proud of you. I don't smoke, so
You don't smoke,
but I'm proud
but
of you.
I thank you. I appreciate that. At least you said something kind. I mean, welcome back, by the way.
You
Uh,
know the world missed me.
It's big facts. Big facts.
yes, it's okay. We're not going to officially say that,
You don't have
but yes, it's okay. But I mean, I ain't had
Nah,
no
they
Kush, no OG, nothing. Like I ain't rolled a blunt, I ain't smoked a joint, I ain't did a bowl, nothing. I've been on my best behavior. Can you believe that?
I'm gonna just stay proud of you.
yeah.
Proud of you
Okay, thank you,
because I
thank you.
don't. There's a whole lot of jargon words. I don't know. Okay,
I
I'm proud.
mean, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, as Benji stated, welcome back, Trisha Michelle. Trisha Michelle was out for a couple of weeks. She was definitely missed. We had people asking, "Where is Trisha Michelle?" So definitely
hmm
people noticed that you were absent. So welcome back.
I
And
mean,
it's
I
a
didn't notice you were absent. I'm sorry.
You
I
can't
didn't.
even not notice. First of all, sir.
facts. He
I
talked
mean,
about you every show.
I
Oh,
mean, I got me a couple jokes. I got me a couple jokes in too. So yeah, you go rewatch those episodes and catch the part where I was. Yeah, I had to. I'm just saying.
mm,
Whoa.
okay.
Okay. Well,
Geez, the next few
welcome.
episodes, just know when I'm gunning for you, you're gonna know why.
It's
Uh
all right.
oh.
I hope you got enough strength built up. You know what I'm saying, to strike a mighty blow. I
My
hope you
arms
got.
is much bigger than yours. I got this.
No,
Wow.
no, we doing 250. Don't play. Just because these
Okay.
arms are small, don't mean you know what I'm saying. They don't
All
lift
right,
heavy
B
loads.
Smalls.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I mean, I
All
got
right.
video evidence of,
Here we
you know what I'm
go.
saying,
Somebody out here is
swollen.
recording this fool.
I mean,
Well,
I gotta make doubters out of non-believers. So that's where I thrive at. So I mean, I enjoy those types of things. So
All right,
you
we're done with
mean
you.
make believers out of the doubters?
or something like that.
You don't know. You don't even believe. That's the problem.
All right. Well, like I said, welcome to the fire session. Y'all already know we got something, you know what I'm saying, some fire, content for y'all today. Today is our annual spring edition of the sports. Five
Yeah.
sports. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like we do one in the fall, we do one in the spring to kind of give y'all our outlook on sports and what we think, and y'all can hear, saying our thoughts. And y'all can give us y'all thoughts because sometimes y'all don't agree with us. I'm pretty sure, and especially
I like that.
when it comes to sports. Sports seems to bring out the talk.
Stupidity.
No, the talking people. When you go to the barbershop, you have even the most quiet dude in the barbershop. When you start talking about sports, even he has some type of feedback that he wants to contribute. So
True,
sports
true.
seems to be one of those ties that bind when you having a conversation. So we're definitely going to talk about some things today that are going to be able to, kind of tap in with everybody. Even a person who doesn't love sports, but about sports will be able to relate to the topics that we talk about.
Stop.
So I want to start off with, talking about a documentary that I saw, right? It's an ESPN doc. It's called The Cave of Adullam. The Cave of Adullam. Very interesting documentary. Found it on Hulu. So
Hmm.
if you all go to Hulu, ESPN Plus, it's called The Cave of Adullam. Very, very, very dope. When I tell you, it takes you on an emotional ride, especially, you know, if you have sons, if you have young black men in this world that belong to you of any capacity, you should watch this and you should watch it with them so they can see the journey of these young men and some of the trials and tribulations that these young men go through in this documentary, because I think a lot of young men can relate in some form. And the Cave of Adullam, they have a martial arts instructor who is very, very engaged with these young men and help them with their problem solving skills.
Right.
All too often, we talk to our young men about the problems they're having, but we don't kind of help coach them through how to solve the issues.
Right.
Or, you know, give them tools to solve them on their own. And that's what it's about, empowering our young people to solve the problem on their own, because we're not going to be there all the time to help them solve them. Right.
Facts.
So that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Doing a little discipline. But like I said all the time, we can't do discipline without the love piece of it. Right.
Right.
A lot of people want to discipline the kid, but sometimes these kids don't need discipline. They just need some love.
Facts. And a little coaching when you coach them, and a little bit of love in your coaching.
Yeah. So, I mean, very dope documentary. If you have time, it's about 1 hour and 30 minutes. I promise you, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes well spent. You'll definitely enjoy it. Make sure you check that out. Holler at me. Let me know what you think when you do.
That's dope. And I did, if I recall correctly, this is a guy, he was on the Breakfast Club at one time, and he was talking about, of course, the mental health issue with men and stuff like that. So,
Yep, that's exactly who it is. And I think he's been on the Breakfast Club a couple of times.
Yeah.
And he's on a lot of different shows, you know, and talking about a lot of different things, but it's mental health. And the way he helps these young men, I'm telling you, it's fantastic, man. You watch it, you might even get a little teary-eyed, because some of these kids really are going through some things, and for him to be able to assist them and, you know, help them get through it. And some of their parents helping their parents as well, because the parents attend the classes as well, and they're involved in certain capacities. So, you know, it's helping the kids, but it's helping the community as a whole as well. So, you know, check that doc out, Cave of Adullam.
Yeah, that sounds essential. Sounds essential.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, was it last week? Week before that was the Davis Garcia fight.
Yeah, man.
Benji's the big boxing expert on the show. Benji loves boxing.
Yeah.
And I asked Benji, was he surprised by this, and he said no. So talk to him, Benji. Why weren't you surprised by the result?
I'm gonna tell you why I wasn't surprised. And most people are going to seem like it's an excuse, but let me be real with you. Ryan Garcia is 5'10". The dude literally walks around at 170, 180 pounds. He's a big old boy. He ain't no small dude, okay? Most people, he took the fight. I appreciate that. But the weight drain clause, listen, it is very specific. I need you in at 136, and you can't hydrate up over 146. Say what you want, but that weakens your legs like nothing ever else will. It's worse than you going to go have sex with a woman and weaken your legs. Like when you're in training camp, yes, when you're in training camp, you ain't supposed to do none of that. You ain't supposed to have no sex. You ain't supposed to do none of that, because you got to literally get all the weight off of it. But in this case, this kid literally probably had to drop about 30 plus pounds for a fight. And so I'm watching the fight, and they're in the back. And you can always tell when dudes hit the pads. This is all one thing. I'm a body language reader type of dude. When you literally are ready to throw your punch and you're using your legs to swing and hit, that's where your power comes from. If your legs ain't under you, bro, he's in the back, and I'm watching him hit the pads, and his legs are just not under him at all. And it sounded Ryan Garcia, who, if you know him, when he hits the pads, bro, like the dude got power. And I was like, he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. Now the body shot, I wasn't sure what was going, but apparently he got hurt in training camp. sparring and got hit in the ribs, and that rib up under there was already damaged. But that goes to his lack of discipline, because if you know you're fighting a small fighter, bro, you're supposed to
keep it.
Yeah. So it was some issues there. So,
man, that fractured rib ain't no joke. I had one.
Ugh. Well, thank God I've never had a fractured rib, but when I saw that body shot and people were like, "What'd he do?" I didn't even see him hit him. I didn't see what happened. I'm like, nah. When you see them body shots, I done seen some body shots take down the best of them. So unless you've been hit in the body with a punch, you could never imagine the pain that it sends shockwaves through your body. So I don't doubt it. People were saying, "No, that's rigged," and all this. Hey man,
that delayed reaction
hey
was
man,
just the exact reaction, because you don't feel it at first,
right?
And then it's like, oh, hey,
and you get hit with that, and it's like, yo. But
yeah,
I told a few people who said the same thing at the party I was at, and I said, let me just take my fist real quick and just tap you under there real quick.
Yeah.
And they was like, go ahead. So did it to a lady and to a male. And it was like, oh, okay, all right. And I was like, now imagine Tank Davis, who's knocking out and sparring 160-pound dudes with just, his punches. Imagine that shot right there.
Yeah.
You're done with, bro. I don't care who you are, where you been.
You could see the body just moving, waves, like the actual connection, like the power of that hit. Like you could see it.
And it was quick.
Yeah. And he'd already knocked him down in the first round? Knocked him down in the first, second round? I think it was second round.
But so, I like that Ryan got up from that, though. Like, he was wobbly, but dudes don't get up from Tank knocking him down. But that's part of one of the reasons why I personally believe they needed that weight drain clause in there. Ryan is a big old kid, man. That kid is 5'10", 180 pounds. Like, that's a big old kid. So, and for him to get up from that punch, I was like, I
think he got up because it was early. Had it been later in the fight when that happened with more fatigue, he might not have been able to get up off that mat.
Oh, no doubt.
That would have done
no
it
doubt.
for sure. Yeah.
His legs were already. If you watch, even during the when they were doing the weight and doing all of that stuff, he just looked way too skinny. Like it just, I was like, nah, man. You watch him, he got on this big old baggy jumpsuit or whatever. He just, if you know Ryan Garcia, his physique is one of the things that makes him as a YouTube sensation, like, the shit. You get what I'm saying? Because that's, his physique is dope. Right.
No person. That's what you said. You said it.
You gotta be the police on this, don't you?
You said it. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you be great.
Well,
I appreciate you.
I think the fight turned out how I figured it would. Yeah. I just didn't see it ending that early. I felt like Davis would win it. But there should be a lot of interesting fights coming up. This year. Of course, we want to see the Spence fight.
Man, listen, man. Spence and Crawford, I don't think it's gonna happen, dog.
What?
I don't think it's gonna happen. Not now. I don't think they're gonna make it happen.
I think if it doesn't happen now, if it happens anytime after this, it definitely won't have the significance that it would have if it happened now. Because we've already waited for, 3 years now, 2 or 3 years. They've been trying to figure this thing out. And I think it's one of those things where when Floyd and Manny actually fought, it was kind of like they were a little bit older. So it was a good fight, but it was like, it kind of took some steam off because we wanted to see them, in more of their prime per se.
Right.
Versus, at that point in their career. So, hey, I mean,
I'd agree, but I mean, they need to fight, dog. But I mean,
hey, the name of the game is chasing checks out here, man. So hopefully they can chase that check together and come up with something that they both, agree on and can move forward from this point since they've already agreed. I just want them to be able to follow through on it, and let's see the fight, man. Get it, go.
And
Like they said, what was it making a band? Let them fight. Let them fight.
right.
Yeah.
FYI, that Ryan Tank fight did over 900,000 pay-per-views. That's killer for a fight. It was estimated that they would, 1.2 million, but there's some lingo, you know what I'm saying, dealing with that. But
hey,
they made bank. So Spence Crawford, y'all got to top that, man. Y'all got to top that.
I think they will.
900,000.
I think they definitely will. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
that's big money.
So speaking of boxing, I know we've seen some ladies in the boxing arena that kind of look like guys, right? And a lot
Patricia,
of people,
you out there boxing?
I might fight like a dude, but I ain't no dude.
nah, she clearly doesn't look like a man, so we're not gonna do that to her.
Thanks.
But there are some boxers, women boxers that actually resemble guys, and make it kind of questionable, right? So there's been a lot of talk about transgenders. You know what I'm saying? Like in sports, and in boxing was one of them, where they had some transgender women who were boxing.
Wait. Hold on. You mean an action?
Yes.
Like
man turned woman fighting a woman?
Dogged her.
You
her down.
You must really be mad at women.
Well, here's the thing. To me, I've always said, and I will continue to say, I don't have anything against transgenders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when it comes to sports, if you were born a man, I don't care what kind of medications you take, hormones and all that stuff, your physique, your strength level, and everything, the way you built is going to be totally different than a natural born woman. So in that case, my thing is, my son laughed. I said, well, if they're going to do that, then they need to have a weight class or a class just for transgender, what I'm saying, boxers. You know what I'm saying? So that way the level, there's a level playing field, because that's what the whole weight class is about, right? You're putting people who are falling into a certain weight into the same weight class, right? So you're leveling the playing field. Level the playing field and have a division just for transgender boxers, right?
But let me ask y'all this, though, because women boxing isn't as powerful or as prevalent as men boxing. Does this create a narrative that you as a promoter can literally use as leverage? Because now I got a female, because really, how many people are really talking about female boxing, right? But now you have a narrative, and I think the same thing applies even when you're dealing with a WNBA and other sports, right? Now they have something to talk about, because in all honesty, how much were we really talking about women's sports? Now, Olympics is dope, Olympic-wise, but what would you as a promoter be trying to do? Because now I got a transgender over on this side. Because all they think about is money.
At the expense of the fact that this transgender woman can hit with the force of a male into the face and frame of a natural born female, and death or whatever is going to occur in some way. Right. And just because you can sell tickets.
Well, again,
this fight.
I get it, but boxing is already brutal. Men have been killed in the ring.
Nah.
So if I'm a promoter,
and them do just fine without needing transgenders in the ring in the
right.
Cage. Like they don't. It's unnecessary.
And see, with the conversation we're having is the reason why, because recently the House passed a bill to bar transgender athletes from participating in female sports teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened recently. So after that, of course, we're going to have some people that speak up on the behalf of the transgender community. And Brittany Griner was one of those people, and she said it's a crime to ban trans women from competing against biological women in sports. Everyone deserves a right to play.
And everyone does deserve a right to play in their proper actual, like you said, level playing field. So
Yeah.
therefore, transgenders should be fighting transgenders, and that
Right.
should be what it should be. Not to say they are handicapped or anything like that, but you know how there's the paraplegic and all these other different divisions of different things. It should be the same.
Listen,
Like,
Brittany Griner, I have no issues with her. I'm happy that they were able to get her home and
yeah,
things of that
absolutely.
nature because that's somebody's family, that's somebody's relative, that's somebody's child. So I'm happy they were able to get her home. But listen, she wilding with that. Like she is not.
They
she,
they literally have women or transgender women that are winning and breaking records in track and getting awards for it. You're gonna break it.
I
Like,
mean, didn't we see Joanna Man? Didn't we see the
like we're
advantage
living
that
it.
Joanna Man had
Like,
by, what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of thing that we're talking about. Because can you imagine how the big hype of when you see a woman dunk in a college game or high school game or WNBA game? It's a big deal. But can you imagine a guy having a sex change and entering into the WNBA and he's got a 40-inch vertical, and now this guy who has made the transition, he might take some hormones and now he might got a 36-inch vertical down from a 40, but he still has an advantage.
there's still an
A
advantage
clear
either way.
advantage.
So we don't want to just speak to just transgender women, but that's just the more prevalent one that is happening. There is no, presence that is known for
well,
in reference to the reverse. Is there?
but see, that's the problem. You have only one person that I've seen so far trying to advocate for her to play in the NBA, and that's Brittany. So for her to make that statement is not far fetched in my eyes because she's advocating for an opportunity to play in the NBA, which she thinks she can compete. Now, I'm not saying she can't because listen, let me tell you something. With her build, her frame, she's 6'9". She has a longer wingspan than Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
Um,
no,
like like
yeah,
she has some things, but I think when you watch her play and you watch the speed of the NBA game
It's too
and the
fast.
aggression, she doesn't have what it takes to compete at that level. Can she go to another level of professional basketball and play with some guys?
yeah,
Of course, because
Some guys.
I
Right.
played at the gym with some WNBA players before, and they can ball.
Right.
yeah.
Period,
This is
flat
not
out,
taken away from
Yeah, it's some
anybody's
flat
women out
out.
there that can
skill.
ball for sure.
But it's just the physicality of it, you know what I'm saying? And my thing is the athletic abilities of these guys at the highest level. These women just don't measure up to that. So when it comes to that,
She's
it's
put
it's
she's pushing for it, and I get it because she's pushing for her opportunity, of course, to make more money or whatever. But
that's what it is.
oh,
And
for sure,
and I
for
and
Again,
sure.
I understand
chasing
that.
checks.
I understand chasing checks is always the thing, and I
Yep.
understand that, and I know WNBA is, that's a big, big thing, but there's also just the revenue, the business aspect behind it, and WNBA just they're just not. They need get the women to watch or something because that's the problem. There's no audience, there's no revenue, there's no money, there's
Right.
no contracts and sales. Of course, there is more attention coming to women, women's WNBA, but it's just not enough, and so that's
But
really where
this
it's at.
but these topics do draw attention to the WNBA
Yeah,
to kind of get the narrative pushed a little more. It does bring your attention to it, and I ain't gonna even lie to you. The college, the
LSU,
college,
what's the name?
it's better. I would rather watch the college game, the women's college game, than a WNBA game. I'm
To
sorry.
me, college anything is better than pro.
Mm,
Oh,
Mm,
I don't know. I
to
don't
me,
to
because
know.
you,
I think they're hungrier.
I don't know. I've been to
So
some
they gotta
we'll,
push.
WNBA.
we'll, we'll
I've been
see
to
when these NIL deals start kicking in even more, and these kids start to get
Oh yeah,
paid, and then they start to like,
yeah.
you
I've
know
been
what?
to quite a few WNBA games, and let me tell you, it's competitive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And they get to it. So I don't know if
But is it watchable on TV?
it is.
it is.
It
If you're
is.
if you're a basketball fan, a fan of basketball, not a fan of players.
Oh, they be
And
balling.
I make that distinction because too many guys I have conversations with will tell me quickly, I'm not a fan of a team. I'm a fan of LeBron. I'm a fan of
Yeah,
Steph Curry.
Right.
Like I didn't grow up like that, right? I love sports. I love football. I love basketball. So I love to see it whatever level. As long as people are competing, I want to see it.
yeah. No, you can
So
watch WNBA and
yeah,
it'll
so
be a
when I watch
good thing.
WNBA games, I enjoy them. When I go to the games and I take my daughter, I enjoy them.
Yeah,
So,
they're
and
good.
I think that's the problem, though. All these people out here advocating for the WNBA and upset about the salaries, but they ain't going to the games.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, watch them. You want to talk so much about it and back it up, but like, go in the stands, buy those tickets,
Go
go
to the
like
games,
And go to the
man.
go to the
game.
game.
I'm gonna
Because
have
I
to go
mean,
to a WNBA game.
yeah, because I
I
mean,
said go.
my thing is the experience. I think once you go to an actual game, it's totally different from what it is on TV in my
Oh,
estimation.
always, always.
So go experience a WNBA game. I'm glad so many people came out because the national championship for the women was in Dallas. So I'm glad so many people, went out and watched the game and was able to go out and support because, what I'm saying, it was a great turnout and you saw the hype behind it and you saw what happened because of that. It was all over the news for like a 2-week run. It was just talking about, the women's college basketball, the national championship, what happened during the game, what happened, what I'm saying, the controversies. Like it just had a nice run. And I think we hadn't seen a run like that in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it really was. It was a good watch. I'm not even gonna lie. I was couldn't wait to get off to see it. So
I
that's
Yeah.
mean,
that's what we need.
I mean, I can't. I hate to be the contrarian, but I'd rather watch hockey.
But have you watched it?
Yeah, yeah. I tried to. I've tried to, and I'm not saying that they can't ball. I'm just saying from a level of like, and I know there's some women out there can hoop. Shoot, like I've been on the court with some women that have hooped me up. Like, can't even lie to you. But I mean,
I don't think Benji's a much of a basketball fan as he thinks he is.
Well,
I
I
he's
think
mean,
not that
that's
much
I
of a
think
football fan either. So
I think that's the issue.
what? You don't think what? Come on, man. Listen, football, basketball, we grew up with that. I even tried to hoop. Come on,
right,
man.
you need to try to
Yeah,
watch.
but see, that's the
Try to
difference
watch.
to me. Like, I think if you were really a pure basketball fan and you love the sport, all right, like I said before, you'll be able to find because to me,
I could still
women's
cross somebody up
basketball women's basketball is more fundamentally sound than the
than
guys,
the guys.
right? So I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people because there's less oohs and ahs, there's
Yeah,
less,
I would say
dunks
that for sure.
and highlights. But if you're a basketball person and you love to see, oh, okay, they ran this type of play or they set these type of screens, like most people don't look at the game that way. They just looking for the highlights. So if you want to look for the
Yeah,
highlights, look, you can look at ESPN when the game is over and you can
Right.
I
get
think that's
that.
what Benji looking for.
But
Nah, like I do want the excitement from the sports, like when I'm watching it, because that's what you're kind of used to. But I agree with Ken. The women are more fundamentally sound. There's less oohs and ahs when it comes to, but that's what I'm meaning. Like watching it on TV, you want the oohs and the ahs, so to speak. But if I'm there, I mean, it might be a totally different experience. I thought hockey was boring live until I went to a game.
yeah, hockey
And then
going
it's
to a
it's
game,
super exciting.
yeah, that's
It's
different.
10 times different. So maybe the WNBA experience, or now I ain't gonna lie to you, like the college basketball game, like the women they ball it, like you love it. But maybe a WNBA game live will give you a different feel compared to similar to what hockey does. Because I
I
can't
think
watch hockey on what's called like that.
I think people should go to the game. You go to a
Yeah,
game, you gain the appreciation for it. Then when it comes on TV, you'll be more apt to watch it because you've now been to a game and you've now kind of engaged yourself or immersed yourself in that, and you say, okay, well these women can actually ball. Let me check
Hmm.
them out and let me support them.
Right.
yeah. I haven't gone
So
to a game. I watched college and pro, and I haven't gone to hockey. I have heard of need to go to hockey, but I'm going to baseball now. Baseball is lit for many reasons.
eh,
This the crowd. It's the
now,
no. It's the crowd.
now,
It's lit.
now that for me is a no. Like
It's
I've
the
I've
people.
watched baseball on TV. I've been to games. It's just a no for me. It's
It's
just
the
too
people.
slow.
I love baseball.
It
The
has
I love
it's the
baseball.
moments.
people. It's the people. If you
I love
go
baseball game.
and you go and everybody's walking around talking, drinking. Like it's just a vibe at the state.
I
Like
love it.
it's
Yeah.
a vibe.
Yeah, I'm not into
I
that.
will I will literally go down to watch my Boston Red Sox because the Green Monsters always sold out. It's hard to get tickets there. I go down there and watch baseball in the Anaheim and pretty much watch all the games. It
Yeah,
like I've seen all of my star players out there in Anaheim watching
yeah.
games, and it's dope.
I go watch a few times a year, so
Yeah, you ain't watching no
Okay.
baseball.
I
You
do.
just go there to the game. You just go.
Okay.
You ain't
Well,
watching no.
For
What's a
now.
what's a sinker?
I don't know that part. I just watch it.
What's a
what,
slider?
well,
What's a slider?
well, let's not veer too far from what we were
Yeah, I'm
on,
like, I didn't
which is
say one of
which
my
is
favorite sports is baseball.
yeah,
I said I like to
which
watch them like the
All right,
Dodgers. Okay.
which
all
is
right, all right.
the women's college basketball. Of course, we already kind of talked about it for the most part, but big shout out to LSU for doing their
That,
thing.
Right.
Very exciting game. They pulled it
Moki
out.
winning it again somewhere else. She's
Yeah.
she's she's legendary for that.
Yep, and these young ladies showed out. A lot of people were critical of Angel Reese because they were saying, okay, she didn't have such a great game and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you clearly, because you haven't been watching them play, you don't know her game. She's not known as, what I'm saying, this prolific scorer. She's
right.
she did what she does is offensive rebound and defend the paint and things of
Hmm.
that nature. So that's what she does.
Oh yeah, she was on it.
Yeah, so she did what she did, and the other people picked up where they picked up, and everybody got buckets, and
It was an all
that
around contribution. It was
yeah, it
a
was a
game.
full team game. It was a full team
That
game.
LSU squad was an all around good team.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
they,
they
they
had
were
a
they
lot
were
of good
really good.
players,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be back. Rest assured, because they picked up some other players,
They did.
and they getting some transfers from other big
Hmm.
name schools, and they're gonna be back. Trust me. with
Yeah.
and with and with Mulkey at the helm,
Moki
like
know how to build a
they're
squad.
gonna be back. So you can look for them to possibly repeat next year because it's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to beat that squad. Definitely.
I
All right.
mean, and the girl from what was that, Iowa?
Uh-huh.
Is that the school? She's gonna be back too.
Yeah,
Draining threes.
but she's not gonna have the squad that she had this year. So
Yeah.
trust me, LSU is gonna be hard to beat because
Oh yeah,
they picked up I forgot the school that the young lady's from, but she's a star of another school and she's transferring to
Yeah.
LSU
I forgot her name
with
too, but
Angel and the talent that's already there. So
yeah.
right.
and there, all of those girls are coming back.
The
Right.
So
baseball, all her people leaving just about.
yeah,
Her
yeah.
whole
So all of the girls from Iowa were upperclassmen or seniors. So
hmm
they're all gone.
about
So
3 or 4 gone.
yeah. So so it's gonna be tough sledding for them, but I'm pretty sure they'll retool. But nobody's gonna have the talent pool that LSU is gonna have. So I'm looking for them to repeat next year.
Repeat and then repeat again.
Yep.
That's exciting.
So right after the national championship for women's college basketball, you backdoor that with the NBA draft, with the WNBA draft, which I kind of like that because you build on the momentum of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
women's college, national championship, and then you roll right into the WNBA draft, which picks up that same momentum. And this year's number one draft pick was
Yeah.
somebody who people have asked me countless times, is that your cousin? Yes, she's a distant cousin, Aaliyah Boston. 6'5", post out of South
Ooh,
Carolina.
Oh yeah.
One of the best players in college in women's college basketball. So looking forward to seeing what she can do in the league. A lot of people were talking about Angel Reese because Angel Reese said she wasn't interested in leaving this year because she wants to stay because the NIL money is paying her more money than an actual WNBA contract,
She's getting over $1 million. So yeah.
which
yeah,
is
she just got that big body Benz to celebrate.
which is wild. But you know what I'm saying, that's the climate that we live in, and hopefully, she'll be ready to compete when it's her turn and be able to make good use of the money that she has now and so she can live out, you know what I'm saying, the rest of her dream and play professional basketball
Yeah.
and, you know, in the WNBA, and won't have to be like some of these ladies that they're forced to go overseas and play to kind of supplement their income. Hopefully she'll be able to, you know, play at a high level, and we can see her play against the best.
And as long as you don't go overseas and take any contraband.
I think they all learned their lesson about that.
Yeah, I don't think nobody will be doing that ever
Yeah,
again.
I think they done with
Don't
that.
play with it. Don't play with it.
Yeah, you just take your clothes and your shoes and you know
And your basketball.
and yeah, and that's it. Yeah, I ain't trying to get you locked up.
Facts. And the WNBA is super competitive, but there's one team that won the championship last year, which is the Las Vegas Aces. So shout out to the Aces. Shout out to my girl Aja Wilson. Aja Wilson is a monster, and she is one of the best players in the league. But guess what happened that I want to talk about briefly? Guess what? They had an acquisition. They signed somebody major in their offseason. Guess who they signed?
I have no idea.
I don't even know.
They signed Candace Parker.
Lord.
Right.
She's just going everywhere. Oh Lord.
Oh, you know what? I did see that.
But you
right.
gotta understand, at this point, Candace Parker has been in the league quite some time.
Right.
She's past
She's
her
marketable.
Prime. She can contribute to a team and give them a lot.
Yeah.
So
And she's marketable.
Yeah. So for her to join that squad that won the championship last year, again, they're probably gonna have a great chance to repeat
Bringing
if they're
some attention
healthy.
over there.
Because like with Candace and Aja Wilson on the same squad, Kelsey Plum, like yeah, they're probably gonna win it all again. So, you know, shout out to them. I'm looking forward to checking them out. I was looking at the Aces because they had some, you know what I'm saying, they have a very interesting squad. Let's just say that. Shout out to Liz Cambage. If you know WNBA basketball and you know Liz Cambage, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, right.
I know who that is.
Yeah, 6'8", like never seen nothing like it before. She's absolutely amazing.
I'm just gonna reel y'all back in.
Yeah. Thank you for that. All right, so let's transition.
Hold on. Does your reel kind of go slow?
No, we quickly back.
Yeah. Nah, we got to jump on off of that one.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. So let's hop over to college sports in the football realm, right? So y'all know we're talking college sports. You know, you already know what the top headline in college sports is these days. It's Mr. Deion Sanders, and they had their spring game, and this man sold out a spring game.
Packed the stadium out.
Sold out a spring game. Who does that?
The comparison to before he was there, to the seats used to be empty.
A spring game.
And you know what he did, right? He signed like genius. He signed all of these kids, you know, these NILs and all of this, whatever. And he made the spring game like an official game. So everybody even kids who weren't going to be part of the team in the next coming days, you know, they were there. Their family got to see them. They got this. And so it was genius.
Yeah, it's just one thing we know. Deion can market. He can sell you a dream. So, you know, hopefully, I'm very, very hopeful that they're going to have a successful season, because I would hate for them not to have a successful season, because the media and the detractors are going to have a field day.
You know,
I don't think in that conference, it's going to be tough, man, for him to win games. It's going to be tough.
I mean,
it's going to be tough.
You know, the haters and the naysayers is waiting.
Yeah, definitely. So for them to only win one game last year, the bar is not high. Let's just say that.
I looked at their schedule, and I think 5-6 games.
Yeah,
max.
I said 500. If they could get 500 or better, you know, for the people out there who don't know what 500 is, that just means if they can win at least half of their games, they, you know what I'm saying, that like they've exceeded, you know, everything, all the expectations, and they can just build on that, because he's gonna get other star players. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, for what he has right now is only the tip of the iceberg. He's going to start garnering a lot of people, and we can't quite say he'll be like the Alabamas of the world where they're just getting all the 5 stars and stuff. But, You never can tell because the only drawback is it's Colorado. Right?
Yeah, but
Because
he's advertising it so well and how
yeah,
beautiful it
but I don't
is
care
out
how
there.
good you advertise it. It's cold. It's freaking cold during football season. It's
I know.
freaking cold. Is it? So I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. You know, you see the pictures, and I've never been to Colorado before, but hopefully I'll be able to, mark that off of my list soon.
Yeah,
But
I'm at.
yeah,
Isn't
it's
that where
freaking
they have
cold.
the big snow, beautiful snow in the winter? Like where everybody
Yeah.
go for the I was like, I need to go there.
Yeah, they got
I'm
snow
actually.
most of the year.
I'm gonna actually have to go recent. I'm gonna have to go because my cousin, but that'll be my first time going. So I might stop. I want to go to a game there though. I actually want to go see a game there. Hopefully the USC Colorado game.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I gotta check something out. I gotta go out there and check it
Better
out.
check out the
It's
schedule.
beautiful, huh?
Better check the schedule. Get ahead of it. Because them games
Tickets,
look like them
yeah,
games
it
gonna be
might
selling.
be sold out. I'm gonna have to boost. I'm gonna have to boost. I'm gonna have to scout
Oh
some tickets.
Lord. We
But
just go back
yeah,
to the porta potty.
listen, I'm gonna dress up as one of them dudes. I'm gonna be in the building somehow. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-mm.
Did Ken freeze up
I
on you?
think Ken is froze. I just thought
Ken done froze up.
I just
I
thought
thought he was just sitting there looking like.
I just thought he was disappointed in you. I was like, dang, he's like,
Look at his
he
face.
got
He
that reset.
done rolled off the whole screen. He done kicked us. Look
Hey,
at
that's the
Ken.
first. Ken went down.
Listen, it's probably got something to do with that bipolar weather out there in Texas.
Are they
I'm
having
just saying.
bipolar weather right now?
It's always bipolar weather in Texas. It could be 71 day, 42 the next,
That's
whatever.
us right now.
I mean, we're dealing with it too.
We got
And
rain on Thursday.
we're supposed to. And I can't say nothing because I ain't got my charger. So, you know what I'm saying? I might be stuck in a minute.
And what level are we at right now?
Girl, we at the bottom of the bottom. We
Lord Jesus.
We like here. Like, you get what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, listen, I want to go to a Colorado game. I want to go check it out. I want to go check something out sports wise. So, I mean,
I've always said that that's when I do travel, if I can, I want to go to, that respective teams, and hopefully catch my team or some team I like against them if I can. But, because it's like, you might as well, especially if you're traveling, like catch some games out of state in their stadium. Like
exactly. You got Oregon. You got Oregon on the schedule. You got USC on the schedule. Who else you got? You got like some, Northwestern, Nebraskas, you got you got some decent people on the schedule to where you can go check out a decent football game. And you already know that they're going to be slinging the rock. Like, so it's going to be a dope game, probably any one of those games. So,
and then my nephew's going up to Wagner in New York. So I'm going to be out there.
What's going on with is that the one who just graduated?
Yeah. So he'll be going there. I think he leaves in late August, but then I'm gonna have to go up. I was like, you're gonna have to send me the schedule. I gotta see when I'm coming out.
Well, you gotta go check it out. I
ain't been to New York yet, so I said now I got a reason.
I haven't been in New York neither. I've been to Jersey. So, but I haven't been in New York. So definitely got to check that out. All right. So let's push this along. We'll catch Ken and jump in when he's ready. All right. So let's talk about this Lakers Golden State series. Let's kind of jump into this. One of the thoughts I had on this was this. Who does this series matter the most to, LeBron or Steph?
I think I want to say LeBron.
Okay.
Only because people are starting to talk and say he's getting older, or is he still capable? Does he still have it in him? Does he still want, all these little, Steph, he still got some more. I think LeBron got something to prove still. So I feel like he wants it more. I think Steph always wants it, but I think LeBron wants it more for those reasons.
And I'm going to say this. They both got 4 rings, right?
Yeah, they do.
What happens if Steph passes LeBron and gets his 5th ring? Like, Curry is a part of this.
It's about time he gets the recognition he needs.
That would be crazy to me because LeBron has been the dude of this era. But in the same era, you can't dismiss if Curry goes off and does a back-to-back without KD.
You can't.
That's going to be crazy. What?
Welcome back. Okay, let me grab my charger. So now that he's back, you can talk to him.
Listen, we on the struggle bus tonight. I don't know what it is. We just on the struggle bus. You know what I'm saying?
I have no clue what happened, but
right.
Thank God it didn't take you guys off of the platform. Yeah. So that's what happens when you're live. Sometimes that happens. Yeah. So I heard you all talking talking basketball.
Yeah. Okay, so now Ken, to me this is a huge series. LeBron and Steph. All right. Now, my point is that who does it matter the most to? Because both of them got 4 rings.
No, it definitely matters to LeBron most right now because he's gonna leave first.
Right.
He's gonna leave first. I think his window of opportunity is much smaller than Steph's because what Steph does, Steph can still go to another team probably for another 5 to 6 seasons and still contribute and get another ring somewhere else.
Right.
Well, I think LeBron's window is closing. I'm not saying that LeBron's, his physical is diminishing, but there won't be. I give LeBron 2 to 3 years tops before he's retired.
Well, his son. So if his son comes in,
I'm not even worried about Bronny. No knock to Bronny or Bryce, because actually I like Bryce better than Bronny. Quiet as kept.
I agree.
I don't know if Bronny is gonna make it, right? Because he's great. He's a great athlete. He's a great player, great young player. But if you look at the other players that are in his class, they're all great too.
No, yeah, they're much better. But he gonna get in based off the name. You don't think he's gonna get in based off the name? And plus his NIL deals and the money.
He's for sure gonna get in.
He's making like $7 million, bro.
Yeah, man. But see, here's the problem with that. If he's not ready, and he does get in, and he gets cracked when he gets in, and he's not playing the way he's supposed to, it's gonna get exposed. So if I'm LeBron, I would not want to expose my child to that if I know that he's not at a certain level. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if he's at that level, okay, yeah, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? And that'll make a great story. LeBron and his son play together. Awesome. Right. But at what are you risking by doing that?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the question. That's the ultimate question. What are you risking by putting that much pressure on your son to come play with you? So
for me, it's the ring aspect. If Curry gets a 5th in this era, the same era as LeBron, and gets a 5th ring, I mean, we're going to have another conversation about, you know what I'm saying?
No, we won't. This going to speak for itself. Curry deserves the recognition that he should get at that point because he definitely deserves it.
Okay.
And he's got several more years.
With everything y'all talking about, though, hold on. Go ahead, finish that, Benj. I got something for y'all with everything y'all talking about.
The fact that Curry's got several more years, I mean, I don't know how long he wants to play, but wins, gets a 5th, why not go for the 6th? You get what I'm saying? That G State, that team, man, they ain't shy about retooling and spending the money and going over the luxury tax, even though the CBA kind of making it a little bit funny for the next couple of years about, going over the luxury tax. But I mean, yeah, man, we're going to have a whole different conversation about Steph getting 5 in LeBron's era.
Okay. So
possibly 6.
With that being said, answer this question for me. Start, bench, cut.
Start,
bench, cut.
Hold on. When? Like now. Oh.
Okay, we're gonna go now, and we're gonna go prime. So right now, start, bench, cut. As of today, start, bench, cut. Who you got?
Which Patricia, you go first.
Oh my God.
Why you he trying to act like
Ladies
he's
first.
I
being
don't want the ladies
gentlemanly.
first.
Ladies
No,
first.
I don't
Ladies
want this
first.
stress.
Ladies first.
I
Nuh-uh.
don't want
Ladies
this
first.
stress.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
What?
That's like saying to me, don't open the door for you. You know what I'm saying? In this feminist era. Nuh-uh.
Oh
Ladies
my
first.
Lord.
Go.
No. The doors, it's they just going. They
she,
auto.
like, she like put a little stopgap under that joint. That's it. I'm good.
Start bench cut right now and prime.
Right?
Ooh.
Well, no, yeah. Right now, we're gonna go there first, and then we'll go prime.
Ooh. Okay. You want me to take it off your hand, Patricia? Because I got mine.
Please do.
Okay. Right now, I'm benching LeBron. I'm starting KD. And I'm cutting LeBron. I'm starting KD. And Curry's coming off my bench.
Ooh.
But prime, LeBron, KD. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steph. I'm sorry. Yeah. LeBron's my starter. KD's coming off my bench, and I got to cut Curry. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So right now, I'm starting Curry. I got LeBron cut.
Ooh. Ooh.
I know.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
sorry, Bron. You old. You're 38. Bro.
It's not that because he's still capable, but you got to cut your ties somewhere. It's time. If it was me and I was trying to build my, it would be for sure Curry right now start, and he's out.
I'm gonna go against you guys.
Tough.
I'm gonna go against you guys. I'm gonna cut KD. I'm gonna cut KD.
Ooh.
I'm almost bench Bron, so
I'm gonna bench Bron, and I'm gonna start Steph Curry. Because I think Steph Curry is, a lot of people say, well, he doesn't play defense. When you do what he does offensively,
you ain't even got to play
in today's NBA, that doesn't matter much, right?
He does play a little defense, though.
Well, he don't even have to, bro.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
He does, and you'll see him, but he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to, right? Because of what he does offensively, and he's one of those guys. And I told some people recently, he's one of those guys where you got to guard him from the from the half court.
Yeah.
From the half court in, like you have to step up because his range is just like that. And there's only a couple other there's only a couple other people in the league like Dame and Trey who actually shoot from that far,
right,
and who have the efficiency to shoot from that far at a high clip, and who will actually hit. So unlike Jordan Poole, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But with today's game the way it is, I think it's hard to guard somebody like Steph. And for me, KD, just this year, to me, right now, he hasn't been who KD can be.
He's been injured a lot.
Yeah,
and I agree because he can give you 30 quick, but it just seems it's so effortless. It doesn't seem like he's doing much, but you expect him to drop. He's giving you 30, but you just expect him to give you 40, 45.
I don't expect that much from him, but I expect more.
Like 45.
Yeah, I expect a little bit more consistency, but I also know that with him with the Suns, there's not enough balls to go around. No pun intended.
Well, Chris Paul is out, so as per usual.
So that's going to change that dynamic a little bit because now he's going to get more touches because of the simple fact of the offense is not going to go through Paul. It's going to have to go through him and Booker directly.
Right.
So, so that might change things a little bit, but in their prime, Bron's gonna start.
Oh yeah.
And for me, in their prime, Steph Curry gets cut.
Okay, I was gonna say okay.
He still was, developing Curry. So
well, it's not even just that. I think when you talk about prime and when you all boils down to it, you have to consider defense, right? And Steph Curry is a defensive liability out of the three.
Right.
So, KD can guard pretty much anybody at any point in time. He's not as quick as them, but because of his length, he can recover and he can play defense. And, Bron, pretty much the same thing. Right. Now, my knock on Bron, and people say I hate Bron. I don't hate Bron, but I'm just not a person who doesn't see the bad in him, right? For me,
Right.
Yeah.
he hasn't been a great on ball defender, right? He's a
Who,
great help side.
LeBron?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great help side defender. He gets a lot of steals. He gets a lot of chase down blocks, but on ball, just locked down.
I don't know, man. Y'all
Go look at
forgetting
the
that
tape.
San Antonio series where he
Go look at
shut
the
down
tape.
Tony Parker now
Go
in
look
the
at the tape.
final.
Go look at the tape.
LeBron
Go look at the tape.
fan specifically, but I'm not a hater either. But at the same time, he's not as aggressive sometimes, and I'm just
Well,
like,
my thing is when I say great on ball defender, I'm talking about
Yeah.
people like Jimmy Butler,
yeah,
Right.
who gonna give
Yeah.
you
Oh,
30, but he also gonna lock up the other guy,
absolutely.
and that's the type
And
of
Jimmy
thing
Butler been
that's the difference
Killing.
between Braun and when we talk about when they try to compare Braun and Mike. That's the difference maker to me is
Oh
Mike's
yeah.
defense.
Defense was way
yeah,
better. Yeah, for
So
sure.
you got a guy who averaged 30 for almost his whole career, but he also has, what was it, 9 all defensive teams. So like that's ridiculous, dog. For you to drop 30 and lock up other guys, like
yeah,
that's
Just
unheard
out
of.
hustling everybody.
So that takes a special player. So to me, that's what it boils down to with those three in their prime. I'm gonna start Braun. I'm gonna bench KD. And I'm gonna cut Steph.
I mean,
I
I
can
agree.
like that.
I agree with that one.
What, you belling on your boy Steph?
Curry's my guy, but I'm honest. Like, he's a killer offensively, but
I mean, I can agree with that. You know what? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I
I'm
keep it
proud of you.
real.
All right, so while we on basketball, let's backtrack a little bit, and because I got booted earlier, I want to talk about this new project they got going. 2 projects, right? The first project is Victor Wembanyama. I know y'all been hearing about this guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all have seen him. Y'all see the wingspan on this fella. This fella's
Man,
7'4",
brother, like a freaking jet.
with handles, with a jump shot, shooting 1 foot floaters from 3. Like, where did they create him in this lab somewhere? I'm just like,
he's a creative player on 2K.
Facts.
We created him back in the days.
Right.
7-7 with like a hit 3, run like crazy.
Yes, and he's a real guy. So they had this big thing because teams were quote unquote tanking to to have a chance to draft him. But
Wow.
the problem is, what they were saying was the thing. If of course the league's not as physical as it once was, of course,
Right.
but there's still a physical aspect to it. And with
It's a lot
him
of
being,
torque.
of him being as wiry as he is, as long as he is, you talk about KD, but KD's 7 foot at best. This guy's this guy's 4 or 5 inches taller because they said they list him at 7'4", but the word is he's a little bit taller than that. So because they showed him standing next.
Hold up.
Well, they showed him standing next to Rudy Gobert, and I was like, "Dang,
He's much taller.
yeah." So
Give
I was
him 2 or
like,
3 more inches.
"Bruh," and he's still young. He's still
That's
like
crazy.
17, 18 years old.
Yeah, so he still got another couple of
He's like the kid that just came out of college from Gonzaga. I'm forgetting they got drafted by OKC.
Oh, Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren. Yes.
Yeah, but you see what happened to Chet Holmgren? He got injured before he even got on the NBA floor.
Exactly. That body can't handle that NBA grind.
Playing with NBA players. Shout out to Braun for injuring him.
Bro put some beef on him. It was
Man.
like, it done already.
Yeah,
So with Victor, you do got to worry about that. But
yeah.
revenue wise, they said this kid literally will bring instantly like 500 million marketing wise to your franchise.
yeah, he's an international player, so of course he's gonna not only bring the states, what I'm saying, the people who want to see him from the states, but he's gonna bring that from France where he's from. He's gonna bring more people because, I mean, I'm not trying to front on a Rudy Gobert, but yeah, I mean he's from France, but he ain't no star, so it ain't really it ain't like people just clamoring to come see Rudy Gobert block a shot.
Rudy about to get passed up
and get dunked on. So nobody's paying big money to tune in to him, but they're gonna pay money to tune into this kid wherever he is. So of course that's gonna bring a lot of revenue. So it's gonna be big time. Whoever selects him in the draft and whoever gets his rights, They gonna sell a lot of freaking tickets.
A lot.
So
And so who you think gonna get him?
But I think the best chance to get him is San Antonio,
right?
In my estimation. So with him going to San Antonio playing for Pop, I can see them building around him. So
he'll be coached up well.
Yeah, I can see them building.
Healthy.
Does he want to go to San Antonio, though?
Can you imagine though, this kid with the skill set he already has being coached up by somebody like Tim Duncan, who's in San Antonio?
Right. It's gonna have to be necessary because he's gonna have to, you got to get him a little low post game and hit the Dirk fade away. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the post. Who gonna block?
It's gonna be effortless.
Effortless, man. Yeah.
So it's funny that you bring up Dirk because I got another one for you. Let me see what I got here. Star bench cut. You got KG, you got Giannis, and you got Dirk. Start bench cut. In the prime, we just gonna go prime because they got some older players in their primes. Who you got? I got mine. Take that
one first. Okay, Ken, well you go first.
I'm going big. I'm going ticket. Tough. I'm starting ticket. I'm benching Giannis, and I'm cutting Dirk.
Dang, the Dallas native is cutting the guy who got his team a championship.
Love Dirk. What? Love him. But we're talking about individual talents.
Yeah.
I gotta go in that order because to me, KG on offense and defense, the intensity that he brings, the skill set that he has, the abilities that he has, we hadn't seen anything like that. I mean, with Dirk, it's true. We hadn't seen too much like that either offensively. But again, you got to play defense. And Dirk was, you know what I'm saying? He could play defense, but he was a liability.
Yeah. But he was okay. Now, I remember one time, KG, when they played him overseas, he had trouble with Dirk in overseas because they hadn't seen somebody like Dirk who could pull up, was his size, and could hit that three ball like Dirk could hit it. So it was trouble. So I'm gonna go different on this one.
That's young Dirk. That's young Dirk.
Young Dirk in the prime.
In this prime, I'm talking Dirk prime. So I think we got the same.
Go ahead. I think what you're talking about is young Dirk when he first came in the league, not prime Dirk. That was young Dirk. When he was running the floor and
Dirk was going wild.
I saw KG in his prime. He was MVP status, so he won MVP. So, but I okay, Patricia, go ahead, give me yours.
I'm going KG, start Dirk bench, and Giannis is as much as I like him and as talented as he is. No.
Yes, and I'm going the same thing. I'm going to cut Giannis only because Dirk, man, like I watched him, man, and don't get me a misunderstanding. Giannis is a problem. That dude is a beast. But you give me KG, prime KG, who was battling it out in Minnesota with the Lakers.
Hands down.
And you give, I'm starting KG. Plus he went to Boston. Should have went earlier. But that's another story. So he can get 3, 4 rings. But that's another story. And I'm taking Dirk. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut Giannis. I'm cutting. I gotta take Dirk. Dirk.
Yeah.
I sent you a clip, by the way, Ken.
Yeah, I saw it. Clip. And I love Dirk, right? But at the end of the day, like I said again, when I look at a guy and his skill set individually, and I gotta factor in the defensive side of it. And you're talking about somebody in Giannis who's arguably, if not the best defensive player in the league at points.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
So you got a guy who can give you, again, 25, 30 points a game and lock down the other guy at his position. That's rare. Especially in today's NBA. He
locks him down for sure.
It does. He can get his blocks. But I seen him get outplayed by Jason Tatum. That's another story. But
who doesn't get played? Who can in today's NBA, with you not being able to touch these guys? Who can guard Jason Tatum?
Oh yeah. It's ISO ball. It's ISO ball on the best players in basketball. That's why they dropping buckets like crazy. And you can't touch them hardly.
You can't touch them. So
exactly. That's the main problem.
Yeah.
But then I got Dirk coming up from bringing the ball up the floor, and literally can just pull up for the 3 ball, like off the rebound, like efficient, not like 32, 33% like most of these big men are. Dirk is like dropping buckets like that.
You know what I'd be interested to see? I'd be interested to see drop Dirk in today's NBA
Oh yeah.
in his game. It would
Oh yeah.
definitely translate. And that's what I tell people all the time.
That's
When you talk
true.
about the greats of the game, most of those guys you can drop in any era and their game going to translate to whatever era you drop them in. And that's what makes
Facts.
them a great. So when you
And
have these,
everybody using the Dirk
so when
jumper.
so when people had these arguments about certain people can't translate, I'm like, can you imagine Magic Johnson, a 6'9" point guard in today's game
Oh yeah.
in the
It'd be
open
insane.
floor and you can't touch him and him able to get a rebound and just
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
Like it, I mean, they were ahead of their times, and that's where when people had this discussion about Michael Jordan being a pedestrian or being a bench player, being a role player in today's game, but you got guys like Jimmy Butler, you got guys like what's his name? I always forget his name. DeMar DeRozan, who are stars, and Mike was better than them. Mike had better skill set than them, and Mike played just as great as defense as them. How can you say that Mike would be a role player when you got those guys are
They
stars?
just be talking because it's a hot topic.
Just like you said, all the time in
can play
sports and
defense.
people get to talk and they get loud.
I'm like,
Right.
come on,
And
guys.
people forget MJ's work ethic was second to none, bro. Like,
Yeah.
let's not be crazy with our
Cannot be
assessment.
taken away from him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
His work ethic was off the charts. So I mean, hey.
So
And he could cross you up. So I mean, and your airness. I mean, come on.
yeah, Mike had everything, man.
Right.
But,
That's
Mike
people need
was
to
one of
hush it.
those guys who you look at his game and you break it down. There's no weakness.
Yeah.
There's literally.
I mean,
no
he could be
weakness.
better from 3-ball land, but that's about it.
But that's a different game, though. See, we can't
Right,
factor that in
right.
because when he did shoot it, he shot it at a good clip, but he
shot
didn't
it in
shoot
the
a lot
30s.
of them.
Yeah,
He didn't shoot a lot of them because that wasn't his game. And then that
Right,
wasn't
right.
part of the
He
triangle offense. The triangle
Right.
offense
He
was
needed
him
to be.
mid-range and him getting to the cup. That was his job. And that's what people don't understand. The game has changed now where the game is wide open. There are no more teams really running offensive sets except for somebody like the Warriors who run a lot of sets, a lot of picks and stuff like that. A lot of these teams just getting the ball. It's rec ball.
You
But you
really,
still-
it's so funny to see. It's so funny to see.
Just get the
especially
ball
coming
and
from
run.
playing and learning the fundamentals and all that. And you watch it and you like, they really just be
Going.
like,
And
oh.
in today's game, it could translate because you got Jimmy B, who wasn't a great 3-point shooter, but when the floor is that wide open, remember there's open spaces at your spots inside the paint, right in between the key, right at the free throw line, right above the free throw line. And if you're an NBA player, you hit that shot 500 times easy. You get what I'm saying? So just get to your spot. You watch them, the Kawhi Leonards and the guys who got the mid-range game.
DeMar DeRozan is a master at getting to his spot and then rising up and hitting that mid-range jumper. He
Easy
kills guys.
Until he gets to the playoffs. So I'll be bugging off for him because I wanted him at one time to play for the Celtics. But that's
Well,
another
I don't
story.
blame him. I think it's just the teams that he's been on and the composition of those teams, because you got to have the right guys. And I bring that up too because I think a lot of people are gonna be mad at me about this, but I think the MVP for the season goes to Rob Pelinka for the Lakers, not any one of the players, because if he didn't pull off that trade that he did to get those guys in, they're not in the playoffs right now.
They made some great moves.
That's very true.
I'm telling you,
They made some great moves, and they got them for the low too.
At one point, I counted us out, and I was like, who cares? I'm watching
if he doesn't pull off those trades, they're not in the playoffs right now.
Rui Hachimura for basically nothing.
So I mean, for me,
why is Tristan there?
Because it's LeBron's homie. That's why.
Oh.
And what you do, that's what you do. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers did with what's his name? Patrick Cobb. What is it? Is it Patrick Cobb? Yeah, Cobb. Number
Yeah,
18. Yeah.
yeah,
Everywhere
yeah.
everywhere Aaron Rodgers goes, he's gonna get Cobb on the team. He's gonna get
Okay,
Cobb.
because I'm wondering, and he don't leave out that breakaway jumpsuit. Look, he's staying at the whole game, but he's just there. And his
Yeah.
battery probably finally died. But yeah, I was like, why is Tristan over here? But okay, he's moral support. Got
Yeah, well, if Udonis Haslam can sit on the end of the bench in this team in this league, then hey, Tristan Thompson can sit on the end of the bench and get him another ring because he's LeBron's guy. So,
I mean,
I don't knock it.
I was about to say, if I was him, I'm all for it.
I don't knock it. Hey,
I don't like it either.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Go on and get that ring, Tristan.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna see what happens.
And another thing I want to talk about too, when we was talking about Dirk, made me think about the Mavericks was what the heck happened with Luka and Kyrie? Like that was something I think,
I
what went
know.
is this, you look at that, you think of the two guys, all the talent. What the
Yeah,
heck went wrong? So wrong for them to go from okay, well, we're looking at 6 or 7 seed or something like this to not even making the playoffs, not
yeah.
even making the play-in tournament.
I thought it was gonna be so different, and I had high hopes and expectations of that. And
As
I
they
don't
say,
know.
they imploded. Now that's
Yeah,
what they call implosion. That like from the inside, they fell apart completely.
absolutely. And
And
I can't call it. I'm not sure what. What? I don't know. I didn't expect it.
I was dumbfounded. I'm a Dallas guy, so I had high hopes for him,
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, maybe my thing is if Kyrie actually stays,
I know.
maybe giving them an off season and coming back into training camp and being able
Mhm.
to build some chemistry, and Luca and Kyrie get with Jason Kidd if Jason Kidd is still there,
Yeah, I know.
and them get on the same page. I think they can work it out.
I
But
think that's
my
all it is.
yeah, but my worry came true because you could see during the game they didn't know who to go to. Like at the end of games, it was like,
Mm,
is it me? Is it you? Like it was
yeah.
that thing of who's the guy?
Who is that? Yeah.
Yeah, who is
Well,
that
they got a
guy?
lot of time to establish that now and figure
Yeah,
it out.
unfortunately.
Because
Unfortunately.
I think that is all it is going to take is some off season chemistry building, some
Yeah.
development, and figuring out who's it, and then going from there. Because I still see it working. It's just hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so because with Dallas, we haven't been able to get many big superstars here, and Kyrie was probably the
Yeah,
biggest superstar we've had in quite some time. Outside of Luca. So I
yeah,
mean, we were happy to have him here, but at what cost? You
I
know what I'm
know.
saying? And
And I was excited for him, just him in his own career path wise, just
yeah,
what he's been dealing with. So I'm like, okay, that's good, and hopefully him and Luca kick it off, and then
I think the community will be good too because the community here and the people in Dallas are very receptive to Kyrie. The
yeah,
community received him. He was very active at the time that from the time he got here to recently. Like he was at a lot of the high schools. Like you see him at games wearing high
yeah,
school paraphernalia from these schools in the area. Been very supportive, and the people have shown him love. So hopefully he'll be back and they can get it figured out, but we're still gonna need some help, in the middle
it
because
can't just be them two.
yeah, yeah. So we had Woods and we had who else did we have? JaVale McGee that they didn't
Mhm.
use, and I'm trying to figure out, and that's why I said before if Jason Kidd is here because quiet
Yeah,
as kept, they said that he is the reason why they didn't work, not the players.
really,
So yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see because that's what
yeah.
the word on the street was. It was Jason Kidd's mismanagement of the players versus saying the actual players themselves. So
Okay, well, that'll be an interesting off season for sure. Then.
yeah, yeah, and Mark Cuban is the owners. He's a players owner.
Yeah.
Where the players love playing for the Mavericks. They love the things that they have, the amenities, the
Hmm.
facilities, and things like that. And they know that he, as an owner, is willing to do things to get them what they need in
Yeah.
order to compete. But as of late, like Dallas has been subpar.
Yeah,
Quite honestly. So,
they got to pick it up.
yeah. So we gotta do some stuff. Speaking of picking it up, somebody picked up something this week, an award, and you know what that award
Oh
was?
yeah,
It was a freaking
MVP,
MVP.
MB.
Like I like Embiid, man. I always have liked Embiid. When he came in the league, I'll tell you this: I didn't see the Embiid now. I didn't see that when he came in the league. I
Yeah,
watched him in college, and I didn't see the game that he has now. I didn't see that.
confidence, all that, everything kicked in. He said he called it in 2014 though that he was coming for it.
I like I said, I just didn't see the skill set develop back then like it is now. Like for
Yeah,
him to be that size and be able to take guys off the dribble and be able to do the things that he does, you know what I'm saying, offensively is crazy for somebody
yeah.
that size.
But that's the perfection. You come in, you grow, you gain that extra skill. He didn't grew into MVP.
This guy's 7 foot, 270,
at that
280
size.
pounds doing Euro steps. I'm like, it's crazy to
Yeah,
watch him do that.
yeah. When they're like that big to be able like the athleticism and then to just grow like he's doing it. I fool with it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I'm not a Philly fan, so I
Yeah,
really don't care whether they win or lose. But to watch him play
yeah,
is him and Harden have been a good combination. I think that they should be a little bit more successful than what they've been
yeah.
since they've been playing together. But I mean, they're here now. They have an opportunity. And Harden pulled one off by himself with Embiid out.
He did, and he's back now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be back tonight.
Tonight.
So,
I wonder how
we'll
that
check the score and see. But
Mhm.
man, I mean, that's gonna be interesting to see with him being back healthy. But they had a question because they said that they don't think he's 100%. So,
I don't think so either. So I questioned it when I got the alert, and I was like, already?
well, I'm looking at the score now. They lost tremendously.
Oh,
in the
it
words,
was MB's stats because I really think it was premature.
yeah, because they lost 121-87.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, so they got spanked.
They got sat back down several seats.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, that's pretty bad. And
Oh my
yeah,
god!
Embiid didn't have a great game. He had 15 and 3.
No, it was too early. They could have kept him out one more maybe.
Yeah, I think he did come back prematurely. So that's one thing I don't like to see when guys get injured like that, and
Yeah,
they try to come back because it's the playoffs. But after Harden pulled off what he pulled off the other night, I would have sat Embiid this game, and then gave him the time to come back because if you lose one, then you're tied. You know what I'm saying? And then
right.
you bring him back, and then he's what I'm saying, he's a little less worse for wear. But you play him tonight, you get trounced, and then he's still not 100%.
And then
So
he didn't get the chance to become 100%.
yeah, he came back and help y'all get stomped out.
Right. He contributed to the stomping for sure.
Yeah, so I'm like, but
jeez,
the
that
playoff,
sucks. Coming off of MVP, and
yeah, you get awarded MVP, then you get awarded an ass whooping. So
yeah,
yeah. So, but the playoff picture looks crazy. Let's take a look at it right quick.
yeah.
Tell me what you think because the Lakers beat the Grizzlies. I didn't have time to fill it in, and I didn't really.
I know.
Want
I'm
to.
like, wait, we off a whole little. Okay,
Yeah. So
Warriors,
the Lakers beat the Grizzlies.
Lakers.
So the Lakers are playing the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna. We're talking about that one last because I know that's your team.
Okay.
So we'll go Celtics. We'll go Celtics 76ers. Who you got coming out of that series?
Ooh, Celtics 76. Who do I have coming out of that?
Oh, you could just tell me who you think is gonna be in the championship game from the East. How about that?
From the East, I think. Oh, well, okay. Bucks.
Ooh, well, no, because the Bucks.
Well, I was gonna say, what's their stats
the Bucks
right now?
lost.
Bucks
lost.
See,
But look at you. The Bucks lost.
Okay, Bucks lost
to the Heat. So it's the Heat and the Knicks. playing
Oh
each
yeah,
other.
duh. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the
So
Heat and the
Heat, then
Knicks. I
yeah,
think the Heat will
76.
beat the
Okay.
Knicks.
So I'm
I
going
think
with Celtics.
Yep, I think the Celtics will win. I think the Heat will end up playing the Celtics, and I
I
think
forgot Giannis. Yeah,
yeah,
Celtics, and then on this other side, I really do have, and I'm just not biased. I do have Curry in them again.
yeah. I think that it would probably end up being either the Warriors or the Nuggets. Not anything against the Lakers, but my only problem with the Lakers at this point, I think they have what it takes to make a run, to make the
Hmm.
run, but I don't see Anthony Davis staying healthy through the rest of this run.
Yeah, I one can only hope because if
Yeah.
AD keeps playing the way he's playing and stays as healthy as he is right now, like AD's game right now is insane, like
Yeah. I keep
insane.
telling people that team goes as far as AD goes.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
people get mad because they like, well, it's LeBron's team. No, that's AD's team. It's been AD team since the bubble.
Yeah. It is. And you can see it because
Yeah.
when he's rocking, that's when they're and when he's having a little off game, that's when it's a little so.
Every now and
So
again, he'll have an off game and the rest of the guys will pick it up. But we're talking about playoffs. So
yeah,
this is a whole nother monster.
he
So
he's the momentum. Right now,
yeah, yeah.
he is it, and
And
it's been
he
shown the past few games for
and
sure.
he's the mismatch. Let's be quite honest. Like, I don't care who guards Anthony Davis, it's a mismatch.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
has the advantage. So, when you have the game like the game that he had, the last game,
He just
I
shut Looney
mean,
down. Looney
well,
and the game before that, game seven.
I
Looney, I
mean,
mean, I'm just saying.
it ain't hard to shut Looney
I
down.
know, but he was going crazy, but not with AD sit down, like literally over the back of his head sit down, like
Yeah,
he playing
nah.
with the wrong one.
AD just has a skill set that hasn't been seen, in the league in a while
It's
from a
that
big,
size, that wingspan, like those arms.
yeah,
The Warriors is
yeah.
having some trouble with him just packing balls out. Like
Yeah, he can do everything, literally. So,
he can, he can.
but like I said, it just depends, and I don't see him staying healthy. You know what I'm saying, for two more
Unfortunately,
series to finish this series, and then have to play another series in the Western Conference Finals, and then go to play in the finals. I don't see Anthony Davis making it that far.
that just reminds me of the Rams with their Cooper Cup, their receiver that they would always go to. Good, bad man catch everything, but you're going to him all the time. You're using him too much. Overuse creates very much likely injury that happened, and he was out the rest of the season.
Yeah,
Rams season done. So AD, hopefully he stays. Prayerfully he stays healthy because that's what they need.
yeah, and I think Curry is, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game, the whole game one.
Yeah,
But I think he is going to have at least a few games where he's just going to go nuts and there's nothing they can do about it.
yeah.
And, they got Vanderbilt guarding him, which Vanderbilt is their best defender. And he was quite effective according to the numbers.
Yeah,
But I don't think you're going to be able to continue to be that effective because Steve Kerr and the coaching staff is going to figure out something.
but he had his moments too where he was too far off of him. Curry don't need much room.
Yeah, yeah. So they're
So
going to figure out something. They're
yeah,
going to figure out something. It's a game of chess, definitely, and
yeah.
it's gonna be a good one. So I'm expecting to see
Every single game.
yeah, every game is gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good thing, and the league is definitely gonna benefit because those are definitely gonna be the most watched games that come on.
Absolutely. That Curry Braun.
Y'all,
Although it's Curry AD.
yeah, yeah. Bron is the name on the marquee, but we
He
know
is.
right now
He is.
AD is the player that's actually carrying that
He's
team.
killing it.
So well, we'll see what happens,
I'm
and like
excited for the rest of the
yeah,
series
it's
for
gonna be
sure.
it's gonna be an interesting NBA playoffs. And one
You
more
think they're
thing
going
before
7 or what?
it possibly could,
Yeah, I
it
think so.
possibly could,
I see it going down to the wire and driving me insane.
yeah,
But
it possibly could. But you know what the crazy thing is? We're talking about injuries. Hasn't it been crazy that all the injuries that we've seen during the playoffs this season? I don't think we've ever seen this many, especially stars, getting injured. Like,
yeah,
it was crazy to have all these stars injured at some point. I'm like, what the heck is going
yeah, I
on?
know.
because this is the same league that allows these guys to take off games because of that.
I know.
And then they still end up
And
injured.
they still end up injured. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'm like,
Then we can get to talking about the flopping and the refereeing. Like that must get
well, hey, that's today's league, and that's why I don't compare eras because the rules are different. You know what I'm saying? The
right.
game is different. Just understand that greats are greats, and
And
they
let the
all deserve their spot in history, and that's why I don't have conversations and retarded arguments or retarguments with people about who's the goat because it's pointless, right?
right.
Everybody's gonna have their opinion. Like I said, I've always been a Braun fan since he was in high school. Been a Michael Jordan fan, was a Shaq fan, was a Sean Kemp fan.
Yeah.
I love the game, so I'm never going to, try to, down one player to elevate another. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In a lot of people's eyes. So I just want to see great games and I just want to be entertained. That's
I
it.
like some good ball, but I don't basketball. First of all.
Hey yo.
Basketball. I like good basketball, but it gets a little frustrated with every time like every single thing is a whistle, and it's like Lord, like so yeah. Sometimes this the way the game goes now versus the way the game was back then, and, Jordan era and all that. It isn't the same. Like there was a whole lot more physical, aggressive, all this calling and flopping and all that. I mean, there was some floppers, but they weren't doing this.
Yeah,
Like,
now I ain't gonna
no.
lie to you. At a point back in the day, they was playing football low key, um,
Mhm.
on the
They
court.
sure was.
But I can't, and that's one thing to me that I like to point out to young guys when they talk about, well, the league was physical. Those guys were playing football. They didn't have a high skill level. Well, I tell them, what that's what makes what Michael Jordan was doing even more special. The fact that he
Mhm.
was able to do that in an era where you could touch him, where you could push him, where you could
Right.
foul him, and there was no flagrant fouls and all this
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, imagine him in today's game where you can't touch him, where he does have free reign to do whatever he wants to
He
do.
would murder so many of these players on the court.
And with that
Like,
same dog mentality, imagine somebody with that size and that ability with Westbrook's mentality.
yeah.
Because I don't take anything away from Russell. He has some terrible games and he makes some terrible decisions at points, but he's a dog.
I like him. And
He's
I'm
he
just glad he got out of there. And
he is a dog.
I
He's a
like him.
competitor. And when it comes to that, and the fact that he was able to play 3 seasons and average a triple double basically for 3 seasons, like
Right.
people overlook that type of stuff. Like he was an amazing player, but for that team, he was not the guy.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that wasn't a good place for him. And
No,
so when he got out of there, I'm happy for him. And then you could just see the change in just him too. Just
yeah.
he needed it. So I'm happy for his move.
And before we get off the NBA, I must say this: y'all gonna stop with the Paul George slander. PG gets a bad rap. That is a bad man. At six
Yeah.
eight, can handle the pill, can shoot, can score, can defend. One of the best two-way players in the league. Y'all gonna stop with the Paul George slander. For you guys out there who know basketball, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you guys who are bronze sexuals, Jordan sexuals, or any
Right.
other
Because
sexual. I'm
that's
talking
what
about
it is.
basketball purists who know the game. Paul George has some intangibles that are off the charts and he's an amazing ball player. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem.
He just can't stay healthy. And I'll point this out before we move on. Do you realize that Paul George and Danny Granger were on the same team with the Pacers at the same time? And if you look at their game, if you remember who Danny Granger was and you look at their games, very similar, almost the same player. Danny Granger couldn't stay healthy though. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he fell off, and then Paul George kind of stepped into
Check.
that role for the Pacers back then. It's the same guy.
So it's a curse.
I don't know, man. It's just it's just
But
one of those things where he can't stay healthy. So
yeah,
I
he
mean,
can't.
I think
It's
some of these guys, I think that's the biggest thing. And
these injuries.
shout out to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, oh my God. I
Oh
talk
yeah.
about Derrick Rose a lot because Derrick Rose was one of my favorite players when he came in the league. And I hated with a passion that, that happened to him when he was like, he wasn't even at the height yet. He was
Yeah.
still climbing,
Mm-hmm.
and that happened to him. And I'm like, I always wonder when they talk about, what could have been, when they talk about the Grant Hills, what if he would have never got hurt? When you talk about the Brandon Roy, what if Brandon Roy never got hurt? I think Derrick Rose is probably at the top of the list of what if this dude never got hurt? Like what like what would the lead look like had he never got hurt?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Nah, we always got the woulda, coulda, shouldas.
But
and some of them hurt real bad.
I just watch his highlights and I'm like, I had never seen a point guard with that type of explosive ability on top of his decision making ability, and this man will be going full speed doing this stuff.
And that makes a whole lot of difference too. That full speed.
Yeah, he's not Chris Paul. He's not crafty. He's not, slowing down the game, dissecting.
Right.
He is, I'm going to get this ball. I'm going full speed down the court. I'm going to either pass it or dunk on you.
Yeah, for sure.
That puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
But it does. When you in that fastball, that fast paced ball, that you gotta be quicker than that.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's change gears a little bit before we near the end of the show. Let's talk about the NFL for a little bit. We just had the NFL draft, so I know you're excited because your team, I ain't gonna even lie. Look, they did pretty good. They did pretty good.
Cause I'll be at work, my ESPN app going off, Eagles alerts going off, and I'm like,
the Eagles did pretty dang on good. They did. I was like,
oh,
dang. I'm like, come on, man.
I'm like, look, we saved up. Okay. We saved up for this.
Yeah, they did. You know what? And like I said all the time, I'm a fan of the sport first before I'm a fan of any team. The Eagles front office has done a great job in the past 3 or 4 seasons of, collecting talent and getting the right guys in for what they need, including their coach. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm supposed to hate them. But, the Eagles coach and, their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, I mean, they're all on the same page and they're doing what they need to do. So I hate to see them, but we got to see them at least twice, a year. And it's going to be fireworks because we ain't no slouches. Nah, so,
it's always some fireworks. So that's the great thing about our bouts, like, so I love it.
Division games is gonna always be fireworks, and so it's gonna be some smoke, definitely.
We got a little heat.
It's gonna be some smoke, definitely. And for us, our first round pick, which was Maisie Smith, a lot of people didn't know him. I didn't know him myself because I didn't watch a lot of Michigan games this year, so I wasn't able to check him out. But from what I've been told, from what what the draft experts and the people who watch Michigan games, and for what we need a run stopper, right?
Yeah, that's my brother.
We need a run stopper, and that's what they said he is. So of course he wasn't the sexy pick that everybody wants. The sexy pick, they want the big name guy. You got to find guys who fit the spots that you're deficient at, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we deficient at because people was running a rock up the middle of our defense. So, we got to fix that. And we got some linebacker play. And of course, we got most of our defense coming back and, our defensive coordinator. Yeah. So Dallas is going to be competitive. And, I'm not one of those people who are going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. I just want to be competitive, man. I just want us to give ourselves a chance.
Y'all didn't need any crazy tweaks. So, I mean, who knows what the season's going to do with just those minor.
I ain't going to lie to you. Now, people get on me about this all the time. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I am not the biggest Dak fan. I'm not a Dak detractor, so I'm not saying that it's all his fault.
It's not.
But he does not let's say perform at the highest levels when we need him to. Put it that way,
I agree.
right? He has numbers. So with today's sports in general, people are numbers driven. They always want to look at the numbers. Oh, he got this
Hmm.
many yards. He got this. But look at how many interceptions he had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you could look at the numbers and one thing, but you got to pass, like they say, the eye test. I've watched all the games, and I watched him when he threw those interceptions.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
not just the fact that you threw one; it's when you threw it, right? And you throwing it,
Yeah.
and you throwing it in crucial points of the game that's costing
Hmm.
us the game.
Hmm.
So
And I don't know when you guys will let up on him, but it's
you,
coming.
you know what? I think it is one of those things where Jerry is very loyal to certain guys,
Yeah.
and I ain't gonna lie to you, Dak's jersey sell, and
Absolutely.
Jerry's a businessman, and he understands that, and he's invested a tremendous amount of money in Dak as well.
Yeah.
So I think this year will be kind of one of those cornerstone years where it's like, okay, what are you gonna do?
Let's see.
Like they say, barbecue or mildew. So you either gonna, step up, and it's either gonna be an amazing year for Dak, and the Cowboys are gonna go, to the next level, you know what I'm saying, and compete for, for a championship, or he just is what he is. And to me, with him being a fourth round pick and, the arm talent that he does have, I
Yeah.
think we've seen the best that Dak can offer.
I believe so. I think prime and its best has run its course, and now
He's
you
a
just get in.
he's a fourth round talent, and I keep telling people, you got guys that are anomalies like Tom Brady that
Hmm.
come through and that have, arm talent but don't have the other intangibles that Dak had, and they get selected in later rounds and they actually end up being really good.
Yeah.
But you got to look at, when you're talking about a quarterback, you're talking about arm talent. And
Hmm.
Dak, to me, doesn't have the arm talent that I've seen from other top tier quarterbacks where they can make, the threaded throws on a consistent basis. Now
It's
Dak
a
can,
consistency.
yeah, Dak can dissect you some games, and then he'll make that one throw that is just way off, and you're like, dude,
And you'll be like, what?
like where were you throwing that ball to? Like, and that's the
And
part
why?
that, yeah, and that's the part that worries me, right? Like you make all these great plays, but then when crunch time comes, you throw a pick that costs us the game. We can't have
Hmm.
that, and we can't keep having you do that over and
The
over
fear of the
again.
unknown in crunch time with Dak is heart stopping. Like,
Oh, trust
like,
me, trust me, and
and
you're
it
not.
ain't even my team.
Yeah,
And
you're
when it
not even
happens,
a
I'm like,
Cowboys fan.
I'll be like, what? And then on the other end, I'm hoping for it when we playing them
I'm like, come on, bro.
because you know it's
Like,
coming.
yep. So of course, when Aaron Rodgers became available, people were like, hey, you know what? Y'all think y'all can put together a package, maybe to trade for Aaron Rodgers or something like that? But guess what? Aaron Rodgers ain't want to come to Dallas. Aaron Rodgers wanted to go to the
He
Jets.
said, I am out. And he went in excited, got straight to it, straight on the green.
And I wonder how successful he's going to be with the Jets. I mean,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Now, here's another controversial topic. As a quarterback, skill set wise, Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady. Skill set wise, I mean, ability to
Yeah.
scramble, ability to make
Hmm.
throws, and across the board, like he's better. But Tom Brady, to me, is, yeah, I guess you could say, strategically,
Yeah.
I think he's better, right? His
I can
quarterback
feel that.
mindset, kind of like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the best at anything, but he had a great arm and he knew where everybody was on that field.
Yeah.
So that's what his superpower was, right?
That
And
that
that's,
allows that
yeah,
great play, that
yep,
play.
and that's kind of like Tom
Mhm.
Brady is. Tom Brady knows where everybody's going to be on that defense, so he knows where to make his throws and things of that nature. So that's what made him such a great quarterback, because he studied film in an amazing way and he knew the game,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I think that's one thing that Dak is going to have to figure out, is how to become more of a student of the game, study these defenses more or something, because if he's going to be any better than what he's been in the past few years, I think that's the only place where he can make a big,
Yeah.
a big difference because
If
other than
not,
that,
it's just gonna be
his
repeated seasons.
yeah, his arm talent and everything else, I think you've seen the best you're gonna see from Dak. So,
Yeah,
but
I
I mean,
agree.
hey,
And what do you
hopefully,
think about Lamar coming
yeah, he got the bag. He got
got
the
the
bag. He
bag
got the
and he's got
bag.
Odell over there. Who else did they pick up?
Well, I don't know who else they picked up, but I know they picked up Odell. And the problem with Odell is because he's been out for so long.
And it's
How long can he last? And if he does, when he comes in and play, how many snaps can he get? Because he's gonna be sore. You're gonna have those, those bumps in the road that you're gonna have with him. So how effective is he gonna be for them? That's the question.
which is true, but I'm excited to see to figure, to kind of see exactly what's about to happen with him. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah.
Um, and if he can, get in the word, get overcome, get back into the rhythm, it's gonna be crazy out there. But he's gotta. This is his hill to climb now, so we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
excited, for him.
I think Odell, because of his skill set and his ability to make big plays, I think he's gonna contribute. But if it's me, I'm bringing him in. I'm bringing him along sparingly. I'm not
Yeah,
playing him a whole bunch of snaps, of course, and I mean, whatever snaps he's averaged over the past few years, I'm probably cutting that in half. And
yeah.
until we get part of by halfway through the season, reevaluate him, make sure he's good.
I
If he
think that's
made it,
the smartest way to do it.
yeah, because that team, I think they're a good enough team where you can pretty much assure themselves that they're going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get to the playoffs, then you just want to make sure that you have your big dogs ready to go.
Right, and so you
So
don't want to you want to get him ready for that
yeah, you
versus.
want to make sure he's available for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
That'd
but
be
yeah,
interesting to see.
but yeah, I mean, I think the NFL season is going to be interesting again. Of course, and our division is going to be a dogfight because not only did Philly get better, I think Washington is going to be competitive. The
Yeah,
Giants are always going to be an anomaly because you never know what they're going to get. What
we ain't got to worry about the
are they going to
Rams.
be good? Are they going to be mediocre? We don't know. And with the Cowboys, they're going to be somewhere toward the top, but it's a competitive division. So
We do have a very competitive division, no lie. So it's gonna be. I mean, I don't know what to say about the Rams, but
I don't know, man. The Rams were pretty disappointing to me.
they
So
were unexpectedly disappointing, like in a horrible way.
yeah,
Like it
yeah,
wasn't even slightly like it was a
yeah,
big deficit. So and then what they did in the offseason pickup ain't nothing really
yeah. They didn't really.
spectacular. So it might be a repeat and they got Stafford back. So
But the good thing is, I think we play LA in LA.
yes.
So I told Benji that I might try to, look into or have him look into getting the tickets out there, and then I come out there to the game. So that'll be a great thing
No,
for
yeah,
us to
that'd be
do.
dope.
That'll be dope for us to be able to go to that game together and check
Hmm.
that out. So we're gonna try to see
Philly
what we can
Philly
put
comes to
together.
LA too.
Well, I ain't worried about Philly,
I know,
you know
but
what I'm
I
saying?
am.
But
Okay.
but good for you. Good for you. You get
You
a chance to
know,
go and probably what you gonna do? Have a half jersey? You gonna go ahead and get a half jersey?
no,
You gonna get a half jersey? You
no.
don't like the Rams like that?
That's Babe's team.
Okay, okay. So he'll have on a Rams jersey and you'll have on the Eagles jersey.
I'm having on the Eagles for
All
sure.
right, all right. So you
Hands
set
down.
so you going to the game set tripping.
Set tripping. He driving himself.
All right. So before we close out, is one other topic that I want to talk about when it comes to NFL and it comes to football and in general. We talked about Dion a little earlier, but during the draft, they had this big argument and this big topic because Dion was talking about him going to Jackson State and them putting the HBCUs on the forefront and trying to get some of these guys drafted. And there was only one guy drafted from an HBCU versus four that were drafted last year. So that young man was a corner, Isaiah Bolden, the only HBCU player drafted in 2023. He's an amazing talent. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I think there were other guys who were just as talented. Shannon Sharp made a statement on his show that said he believed that if those guys were talented enough, they would have gotten chosen, simply because for the front office of an NFL franchise, it is looked upon better to have gone and found more talent from an HBCU than go to these big schools because it's unexpected. So if these
Yeah.
guys could really compete, they would have got picked. Which, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that.
Yeah.
But I don't knock it because we were able to pick up quite honestly what they consider the top cornerback in HBCU, Isaiah Land,
Mhm.
and Dallas picked him up and signed him. So I'm hoping that he turns out to be a great talent. Number one, because we could use another corner on the other side of the
Yeah.
field, and also because it looks great for other HBCUs. For
Yeah. That's
you know,
smart.
I think guys, the draft. Everybody wants to be drafted, and that's amazing, right? That's an amazing thing to say, add to your resume. I was drafted in this
Right.
round and this year. But there are a lot of guys who were not drafted who are amazing and who have great
Yeah.
careers.
I was yeah, that does happen. So there's a lot of young talent that didn't get drafted and they, head down about it, but that it's not the end and you're talented still. So I mean,
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is to get signed and to get into somebody's camp, right?
yeah.
If you're a young player, that's the biggest thing, is to get signed, get in somebody's camp where you can get in front of these people and
And
actually
then
show them who you
hmm
are and actually compete, because you got guys that look good on film and guys that don't look so good on film, but when you see them up front and when you see
yeah.
them in the game situation, they look totally different,
Yeah.
right? And so, for some of those guys, they're going to organizations, and that scheme of that organization is probably going to be better than the one they played in a college setting.
Yeah.
So they might look way better than they did. And some organizations get lucky like that.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, some organizations really get lucky like that. They pick a guy, and at some point in the draft, you look at guys and you want to pick the most talented guy, because you know that whatever scheme you're running, you can kind of plug him in,
Like he's just going.
and he can be taught, right? He can be
Hmm.
taught certain things. So, when you got guys with talent, so, some of that stuff works out, and then you say a guy's a bust. Sometimes the guy's not a bust. He's just not in the right offense. He's not in the
Yeah.
right defense. He's not playing under the right coaches, because some coaches are detail oriented and are teachers, and some coaches are just disciplinarians and like, get in here, do this, and you should know better because you're at this level already. So,
That's a
it's a lot.
factor.
Yeah, it's a lot involved with
Yeah.
a lot of these teams and a lot of these organizations in all sports.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's in sports in general. That's why
Yeah.
you see players like Westbrook leave, and it is different, or it all can matter and come down to just the different organization and the way that they're playing or running the field, or like you said, coaching. It's different. So
Yeah, and
it
that's why I
always
tell
happens.
people all the time, I don't knock high school players. Like, they this big thing of high school players jumping around. Now, jumping around unnecessarily, I get, because the coach over here didn't do this, or they don't play you enough, and
Yeah,
you think this and that and third, and you listen to your mama and your daddy.
because
I
that's
get,
definitely going on.
yeah, but there's some kids who go to a school because they want to play for this certain coach, but then this coach runs this certain type of offense, and the parents ain't looking at that.
Yeah.
They listen to the kid. The kid got a homeboy to go to that school, so they want to go to that school with their homeboy. But that offense ain't for you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That defense ain't for you, bro. Like, these kids ain't looking at that. So, and I think a lot of, before we wrap up, when they say Dion let all these kids go, all these kids left and went in the portal from Colorado, Dion's got a different offense,
Yeah.
right? Everybody don't fit that offense, right? So I don't expect everybody to stay. I don't expect every kid to be successful there under Dion,
Hmm.
because some people just don't fit the offense or don't fit the defensive scheme that they run. So
And
yeah,
then they would get mad if they went there and failed. So
Yeah,
then it would be the opposite, and then they would blame Dion there. So it's
yeah. So
like,
it's good that they left right now because they have an opportunity to go in the portal
right,
and find a new home and go somewhere else where they're probably going to be successful.
absolutely, and they'll be
So,
all right and
yeah.
where they belong.
Well, and before we close out, I forgot about this one. Pool shot. at,
Oh
the,
man,
at the
speaking of
end of
the,
the
speaking
game,
of,
at the end of the game, I watched him and I watched him take the shot. I was on the fence. To me, I would have liked for him to, take a closer shot or maybe, try to, you had 10 seconds. So it wasn't like it was 2 seconds, it was 10 seconds. So 10 seconds is, pretty good little chunk of time to get a shot off or to
yeah,
find a better shot than to take I forgot what they said. It was 28, 30-foot shot, right?
but he can make those.
He can make those, and he was six
So
for 10. They said he was 6 for
he,
10.
my thing is, and it is exactly what you said. You had 10 seconds. Step a little closer or line that thing up real quick. But he could have made it. Just I don't know why he did that.
Well,
I don't know why.
but hey, his teammate had his back. Check this out.
Once talking about the last three that he missed, quite frankly, I liked the shot. You obviously, you tell him to eat up the space and take three a little bit closer as there was, he could have eaten up the space, but Jordan can shoot the ball and he got a good look at it. Yes, you want him to take a couple steps in and get an even closer three, but Jordan taking that three is not why we lost that game. And I know everyone's going to point at that one play and say he should have never shot that three. Prior to that three, he was 6 for 10. You got a guy 6 for 10 that you know can shoot the piss out of the ball, and you get an open three, you live with it. There were some things that I personally could have done to make sure we weren't even in that situation.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take your accountability, sir, because sir, because you were definitely a lot of the problem.
Yeah.
But, I agree. Like he could have came in a little bit more, but like I said, Pooh could make that shot.
Yeah, and that's part of the game today. Guys, shoot that shot. You know what I'm saying? But I think in that moment, it was just like, I mean, with him being on that team, with Steph, with Clay, who are better shooters, you're like,
Yeah.
man, like
Out of everybody,
you take that shot.
But you already knew double team was coming Curry's way. So the only person that was going to be able to be less looked at and double is Poole, and Poole could still make it. So
Thank you.
It makes sense.
Yeah. See, I knew if I started talking another way, Trisha Michelle knows her sports. See, it just proved it to y'all. She knows her sports. So she just told you exactly why he was open, because of the double teams and because of the attention going to those other guys. He was the guy who was going to take that shot regardless.
He was. It wasn't going to happen the same way.
Now, the question I have, too, is why the heck was Darvin Ham that far on the court, like within, arm's reach of him while he was shooting that shot? I'm like, I know the NBA coaches can be on the court, but he shouldn't be that far out on the floor.
And look, and these are some of the things that get overlooked when they making these other calls and not making those calls. It's like, what?
I'm like, if I'm pulling up from that far, and then I hear some dude yelling in my ear from the left hand side, that's crazy. Like,
insane.
Fans is over there, but he right here.
he about to slap me on the back.
Hey, facts. I'm like, bruh, it's just so much that I see. But like I said, I mean, the shot is what the shot was. They lost the game. LA's up 1. It's gonna be an interesting series. The whole playoffs is gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to some entertaining games. And we'll see what happens. So hopefully, whoever y'all put y'all money on wins. That's all I can tell you, because I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want to see some good games.
Man, we're gonna see, but I do see it as a Celtics Warriors. So let's see.
Yep.
Let's circle back and see if that's where we at.
I agree. I can go with that. Well, I think we've covered everything that we're going to cover for this episode. We appreciate you all, sticking in there with us and tuning in and listening to our thoughts on these amazing sports and these amazing athletes. Trisha Michelle, talk to the people and let them know where to find you on social media before we get out of here.
All right, y'all. On Instagram at Trisha Michelle _YT right there. How do we point? There we go, right there. That's where y'all can find me out on Instagram. Pretty much that's where I'm really mainly at. I got other pages, but life be life, and I can't run all them. So just go on Instagram. Okay. That's where you can find me. And then of course, Fiyah Session every Tuesday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm always here unless I do something crazy like get my laptop jacked. But outside of that,
wow.
Outside of that, I'm here, you know? So yeah, that's where you can find me all the time.
Facts. Well, we appreciate you coming through and imparting your sports wisdom on us for this episode. And every week, we appreciate you. And definitely, as the people said, when Trisha Michelle is not here, we definitely miss you. So thank you for coming through and blessing us again and being part of the team.
Absolutely.
All
It's
right.
always a pleasure, no matter what the topic, no matter the subject. This is all, like you said, authentic. And so that's what makes it even greater. Like it's just
Facts.
we don't plan this. We don't talk about it before. We don't stage it. So all of this is just happening in the moment. You seen I needed a charger, Benji gone, but stuff was
It
happening.
happens. It happens.
So this is just raw. And it's always exciting and fun to do every week with y'all. So
Yeah, shout out to the militant midget Benji. He had to dip out, take care of some things, but that's our brother, and we're praying for him. He had a death in the family this week,
yes,
so we appreciate him being even able to willing to join us. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying, and push through. So prayers for him and the Banks family. And y'all already know where y'all can find me. Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can catch the Fiyah Session on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH session and we'll pop right up. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe. We're growing that page like crazy. So we need your support there, as well as our other platforms. We're just trying to get the message out. We have some great information that we try to help the community with, and we try to help our people with who tune in. So if you tune in on a regular basis, we're giving you gems every single week. So support us. We'll support you. We'll all grow together, and we'll make this thing, something big. And it ain't
Absolutely.
about us, and it ain't about, trying to get money. It ain't about trying to get fame or none of that. We're trying to help the people, and that's what we're all about here at the Fiyah Session.
And we can't do it without y'all.
Facts. So we appreciate y'all once again. Y'all already know how we do it. It's the Fiyah Session. Peace. Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.